a prisoner held in total secrecy, his face hidden behind a mask. No one knew his name, not even the guards, and when he died, his grave was marked with a lie. This is the story of the Man in the Iron Mask, a real prisoner who lived and died in 17th century France, and whose identity remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Immortalized by Alexandre Dumas in his novel The Vicomte of Bragelonne, the legend has inspired films, plays, and conspiracy theories. But behind the fiction lies a true story, one filled with secrecy, politics, and whispers of royal scandal. The man was arrested in 1669 under the name Eustache d'Augurre. He was taken to the fortress of Pignerol in southern France, under the custody of Benigne de Saint-Mars, a former musketeer turned prison governor. From the beginning, d'Augurre was treated differently. He was placed in a cell behind 3 locked doors. He was forbidden to speak to anyone, and Saint-Mars was given strict orders. If d'Augurre ever revealed his identity, he was to be killed immediately. Over the next 34 years, d'Augurre was moved between 4 prisons, including the infamous Bastille. In each location, Saint-Mars remained his guardian, and wherever they went, rumors followed. The mask is what made the legend. Voltaire, writing decades later, claimed the prisoner wore an iron mask at all times, but historical records suggest otherwise. The mask was likely made of black velvet, and it was only worn during transfers between prisons or when attending Mass. So why the mask at all? Some historians believe Saint-Mars used it to inflate his own prestige, making the prisoner seem more important than he was. Others think the mask was meant to protect a dangerous secret. Whatever the reason, the image stuck. A faceless man, locked away for decades, became a symbol of royal paranoia. Who was he? Over the centuries, more than 50 identities have been proposed. Some believed he was a disgraced noble. Others thought he was a spy. Voltaire suggested he was the illegitimate brother of Louis XIV. Others went further, claiming he was the king's twin, hidden to protect the monarchy. One theory points to Ercole Antonio Mattioli, an Italian diplomat who betrayed Louis XIV in a secret treaty. Another names General Vivien de Boulogne, punished for cowardice in battle. Yet another suggests Eustache d'Augurre de Cavois, a valet caught up in political scandal. Modern historians lean toward Eustache d'Augurre, a valet who may have known too much, possibly about embezzlement involving English royalty. According to historian Paul Sonnino, d'Augurre was arrested to protect a diplomatic secret. He wasn't a prince, he was a liability. But the truth? Still uncertain. And that uncertainty is what keeps the legend alive. The idea that someone so dangerous, or so important, had to be erased from history without a trace. The prisoner died in 1703 at the Bastille. His burial certificate listed the name Marchioli, a false identity. His cell was stripped, his belongings destroyed, his story buried. But the legend lived on. Dumas turned him into a tragic hero, a twin brother of Louis XIV, hidden away to preserve the crown. Hollywood gave him a sword and a cause, and historians kept digging. The mystery of the mask has become a metaphor for power hidden behind ceremony, for secrets buried by governments, for the human cost of monarchy. Even today, the story raises questions. Why would a man be imprisoned for life in total isolation? What secret could be so dangerous that it had to be masked, literally? The Man in the Iron Mask is more than a historical puzzle. He's a symbol of how fragile identity can be, how easily it can be erased, rewritten, or hidden. His story has inspired novels, operas, and films. Leonardo DiCaprio played him in 1998. Voltaire used him to criticize royal excess. Dumas turned him into a legend of justice and revenge. But the real man? He never spoke publicly, he left no letters, no memoirs, just silence. And maybe that's why we're still fascinated. Because in a world obsessed with fame and exposure, his anonymity feels like a challenge, a reminder that some truths are buried not by time, but by design. Thanks for listening to 5 Minutes of History. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share.